Anyway, okay, how do I start this week? Hello, everyone. Right, that's this week's thing. Okay.
I was going to start singing 1,000 miles, just or 100 or whatever it is.
I can't even use it, so I'll get copyright. I'm gonna have to put it on Twitter.
Goddamn music companies.
Trying to start a podcast here. Oh. Right. Hey there, everyone. Welcome to UnCapt the Podcapt. So this week, as every week, I'm joined by Dale and Phil.
That's me.
These two here.
I'm Dale and Phil.
How are we both? How are we both doing?
Good, we're good.
I've had a black coffee, and I'm pretty sure I'm hitting peak hyperactiveness right now. So this will be fun.
Nice, love it. Love to hear that.
I'm feeling surprisingly spry, given that I've not been getting very much sleep this week because I've been constantly gaming. Well, anyway,
you're a gamer, Phil.
This brings us into our favourite question ever. What have you been playing this week, then, Phil? Come on, then.
So should I start? Well, yeah. I mean, other than Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, which I played on Friday while I was waiting because my pre-order of Horizon Forbidden West didn't arrive on the release day. Boo. Since then, since Saturday, I put what did we work out? 53 hours into the game so far. So
hours. Actually, you could up those hours a bit, I think.
Well, I'm still off for the rest of the week, so it's. I
mean, it's only Wednesday. Damn,
yeah, as we're recording, it's only Wednesday. By the time this airs, I will likely have put in a good 100.
10 hours a day.
I may even have 100%ed it by next Monday. We never know.
We might have a review next podcast then.
Yeah. I think I've got enough to be able to review that's the coming week. But I am also intending to complete the whole thing. So that's the other thing. That may be after the review, but
we'll wait and see. I'm excited to see what you think. Anything else before I?
No. I won't say any more on that. Like I say, I mean, initial thoughts are generally just it's good.
It's good.
Very good. Very nice.
Borat's too. That's the podcast.
Yes, Borat is hosting this week.
I was more Russian. What the?
I don't know.
You're great at accents, but you're not great at picking the right accents. You're like metronome in Pokemon. You just never know what you're gonna get. It's gonna be good, but you never know what you're gonna get. I'm glad you're enjoying it, though.
I'm glad you're having a good time.
We
haven't spoken to you all week. It's nice to actually see you. How are you doing?
It is. For everyone else, you get to see him, or hear from him once a week with the podcast, or with the videos as well. We probably have heard from him less than you this week.
Yeah, this is why virtually all output is. Well, no, it's not even true. I made 2 videos on Monday, so I've still been productive. I've just done it on the side.
Horizon's been a priority.
Been the side hustle.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, should we move on to the bunt of all our jokes, Dale, next?
To be fair, I'm a good joke. Let's be fair, I am a good joke. I mean, you can guess what I've been playing. You just guess what I've been playing.
I'm going to go with Apex. I'm just going to take
did you know?
I don't know. I've got 5 games listed of what Dale would play, and I'm just going to throw a knife into them. And
I'm a creature of many habits, and I'll bounce between my habits. But no, I've been playing a bit more Apex this week. I'm today currently in the thing of swapping to keyboard and mouse, which I'll probably by next podcast be back to controller. So hey ho, but
you're not number 1 in the world yet, though. No,
I'm Phil. I'm not
here. days.
I'm close to last in the world. To be fair, like I streamed for the first time.
We had all our hopes resting on you. We're so disappointed.
He hasn't palmed us off yet, so he's not number one.
I streamed for the first time this week in like a month, and I streamed Apex. And yesterday, I come back to a couple of my mates watching my stream in their Discord back, just picking out my idiot moments. And literally, they had like notes going back to where I was just stupid and do stupid things. I was like, listen, it's what you get with me. You get the like 5% God moments, and then you have a 95%. You just don't know what's going to happen. Like, mostly I'll do stupid stuff. But, you know, it's that. Oh, go on.
I was going to say, it's very easy to do that, though. Like, I find myself doing that, like, particularly if you've got a plan and you've got a certain way you're going to play the thing, and then as soon as it goes off plan, I find myself, like, particularly if it's high stress or tense gameplay, that's where you start panicking, and then things go wrong, and then things go very stupid.
That's the thing. It's like, when it comes to fights in Apex, I think I'm okay. It's just positioning and stuff like that, and just being able to, like, it's the in-between fight stuff that I do wrong. It's the get into certain areas, being aware of where certain teams are going to be. There's a lot to go on, but I'm actively trying to get better, which is fun, because I've never sat down with the game and thought, listen, I'm going to just actively make myself better at this. But other than that, I tried Lost Ark the past 2 days, and that's pretty good. It's pretty fun. It's, I don't even know how to describe it. It's an MMORPG in which it's top down. It's kind of like Diablo style, how it looks. But it's move with click, which is really weird to me, and I can't get used to it. But it's a pretty cool game. It's a really beautiful looking game. Very pretty game.
Okay.
Very, anime, you know?
Ooh, okay.
Like, it's not actually anime, but like, you know, how anime, if you made anime real and then looked at that graphics, how the characters would look. Like, they're all like I
they're
don't
not
even know.
They're not.
I don't know where I'm going with this, but it's cool. Okay, both my characters are anime names, and it's just yeah.
So it's not like quite JRPG style graphics. Is that?
Wait, do JRPGs have like a style of I don't play JRPG. Yeah, no. Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is.
Okay,
not anime. Cool. I'm being an idiot again. But yeah, it's that, you know, like all the women seem to be only in dresses and armor is nothing to them. That kind of aesthetic, but
yeah, okay,
it's cool. It's cool.
Nice.
What about you, Lloyd? What have you been playing?
Where to begin? It's Steam next game. Next, I never get this right because I always muddle the words up.
Next Steam Fest game.
That's the something like that. One of them, right? I always mess it up, and I was like typing the hashtags on Twitter, and I was like, "Is that right? Is that?" And but yeah, I've been playing. Got like 20 demos to play on there. I've played about through 6 or 7. I've kind of had to like limit myself down to half hour.
Any standouts or?
There was one that I saw. It's called Mini Shot, which is quite fun. It's like a shoot 'em up / Metroidvania kind of thing, and you just play as this little ship. And I saw everyone on Twitter, and I was like, "Oh, I might just check that out," because everyone was raving about it. And then I played that, and it was just like, yeah, it was sick. It was like being back in an arcade sort of thing. You pew pew, shooting all apart.
Pew pew, pew.
And it's like dual sticks, aiming and stuff. I don't know.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it was like that was really cool. You play up to like the first boss. That was so I really enjoyed that. There's Pharaoh, which was a game that I loved playing growing up. It's a simulation city builder. You just basically build a big Egyptian city, and you go to war with other clans. And yeah, that's quite fun. I've finally got to play Wandering Village, which I think I backed on Kickstarter like 2 years ago. So that was quite nice there.
Is that the one where it's like on top of a giant, like,
yeah.
I don't know, turtle or something? It's a giant animal, isn't it?
Yeah.
You build on top of that.
Yeah. Oh, that was actually really, really fun. I might actually go play that tonight.
That's very Discworld. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. How does that work then? Is there anything that actually does, or is it just the cool aesthetic?
So basically, you wander through a map. So you've got 3 views. So you've got the village view, which is the back. Then you've got the animal view, so you can see the animal moving through. I think it's Oglu or something like that. And then you've got the world view, and then you see all these little settlements and stuff.
Okay.
So yeah, you basically you get like you get your trees and your things at the beginning, build up this little village, and then you've got to go off to these other villages that you pass on your wanders. But you've also got to take care of the creature as well. You've got to like feed it. You've got to make sure it gets enough sleep.
Oh, that sounds like stress.
But the good thing about it is it like contains it all into this little small thing.
Wait, so is the village on the back of a turtle rather than the world?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that's more like
through.
Yeah, that's more like in Avatar. Well, no, not Last of It, Legend of Korra, when they went back to the first Avatar.
Oh, this giant turtle. Oh.
And then you get all different like biomes and stuff. But yeah,
I have no game premium references for this, but I can go, oh, Avatar.
Avatar. But yeah, there's loads of others as well. I'm making a thread on Twitter, shameless plug, but I'm making a thread of all the demos I'm playing and stuff that I'm enjoying.
Before we get into everything, I have some breaking news.
Yes.
Toys R Us is coming back.
Yeah.
Toys R Us is set to return.
Yeah. Where have you been?
Wait, what? Why does everyone know about this and not me?
It was announced like last month on it.
Oh, do you know what? I'm leaving.
And it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was announced. I'm pretty sure we talked about this.
I mean, in Dale's defense, when you Google like the news story, Toys R Us, like it's all like 11 hours ago or 1 day ago, or it's not like last week.
This week, yeah. No, I'm pretty sure. It is something about
You know what?
it. I think it might be a rumor.
I saw it on the side, and I thought it'd be a great way to reintroduce the topic that we're talking about, where you go and buy your physical games. But no, all right, you have to shut me down. Sorry, I went in the middle of your next preview. Anything else?
I could go on all day. There was one you would enjoy, Mad Shot, which was it was like a roguelite sort of game, and you play. It's like based off Cthulhu. I never say it right. Cthulhu. That's the one. Cthulhu, and and that's like really fun. So you could jump around and swing off the things and shoot people with shotguns. I think you'll enjoy that day. That was really fun.
Let me take a look at that.
I'll send it over. It's called Mad Shot. It was really cool. But yeah, other than that, they were the most noteworthy I think so far. But I've got about 14, 13 more games to go. So. Wait,
that's a lot of games. That's a lot of gaming.
Yeah. I was like looking through it, and I was like, right, okay, I want to play that. I'm going to play that. I'm going to play that. Oh, it's free. Look, I'm going to play that. And then
they're all demos, or are any of them complete games?
Demos. Yeah, all demos.
All right, so presumably there's like an end point to the demo, so you could technically.
Yeah. You can just. Yeah, I know. Like like normally I'll play the whole demo, but this year I've just been like, there's so many I want to try out and stuff, and I was like, let's just limit myself to half hour, put the timer on my phone. When that goes off, stop playing it.
That's discipline, though. So, I mean,
I failed with Pharaoh yesterday. I played an hour of it, but don't tell the other ones. Like, I it was very naughty.
It's a world away from. Every time I say something like this, I always feel like the old man of the group. But like I said, I don't know if you remember this, but like when you used to get demo discs on like the magazine, on the game magazines, and then like you'd never buy the game, but you'd play the demo for like ever. It's like just this one level over and over and over again.
There was one game that I did that, but I must have played the demo about like 40 times. And then one day I was just like, it was in Blockbusters, and I was like, I might as well rent it. I played this one mission over and over again. I could tell you it like the back of my hand. But...
Did you ever play the PlayStation T-Rex tech demo thing? Can you remember that?
No,
I've never played it like I didn't play it at the time,
remember
but it's a boss in Astro's Playroom on the PlayStation 5. So
Oh, I see. That's cool.
I
It's just a walking T-Rex. That's literally it. And you get to, I think you can make it roar and little things like that. But that was it. It was sick. I loved it.
But yeah, you get to fight it because Astros is basically just a gigantic love letter to PlayStation, and all like its history and stuff. So you get when you unlock that, that's really cool.
I like that. I like that.
Okay, so anyway, should we move on to the big stories of the thing? So of the week. So Nintendo have announced that they're going to be closing down the Wii U and Nintendo 3DS eShops, 2023. So yeah, you can no longer add funds at the moment from August, and then from late March you can't. Oh wait, sorry. So May you can't add funds, and then August then you can't use the cards that you can get to add funds, and then in March 2023 you can't make any purchases at all. It'll be fully shut. So what are your thoughts on that? How do you feel? Because obviously it was quite a disappointing console with the Wii U. It's one of the less selling ones.
Yeah, because I mean, to be honest, it was only relatively recently that I realized the Wii U was a separate thing to the Wii. That's how little impact it made on my life. But they had a similar thing with the was it PlayStation 3 store, or they were closing down some stuff, but then they backed off because there was an uproar over it. So
yeah,
whether there's enough of an uproar to make Nintendo back off, or whether Nintendo are the kind of company to back off because there's an uproar, I don't think so.
They will not.
Yeah, there has been plenty of uproar though from Nintendo fans. They've
loads.
Loads. There's been loads of questions about how Nintendo are preserving their games, because obviously they've got the online Nintendo Online, where you can get the certain consoles, the volume of certain consoles, games. I can't speak again. And yeah, so they've been doing that, which obviously people are kind of a bit hit and miss about. They're saying they shouldn't have to pay for old games. So there's a certain section that's saying they shouldn't pay for old games, and that they should basically be free. I don't know whether I don't know whether I agree with that, to be honest.
I don't agree with that. No,
because how much is the Nintendo eShop? Because obviously they've done.
What are you on about the
online?
Plan?
18.
I don't know. I think it's like £3-4 a month, something like that. Something it's in that kind of thing.
And then they've got the Nintendo Plus thing, haven't they? Where you get extras or something. So
you know, like you get some DLCs and stuff.
Yeah, and I think that's where some of them come in. Yeah. So that's been going on. And then obviously, because there's some Wii U games that haven't come over. I think there's a couple of Zelda games that haven't come over and stuff yet. So
it's just a way for them to, like, those popular games, a way for them to resell them. Yeah. I mean, we know what Nintendo's like for just rethinking a game, selling it for full price because they can, and people will pay for it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's at the end of the day,
the ones that aren't coming over, they'll presumably still be able to buy, not buy, they'll be able to keep if they've already bought it, and the Wii U's still there and that sort of stuff.
Yeah. A lot of the arguments have been around when the Wii U dies out, when the Wii U breaks and stuff, because obviously they would have to rebuy all that on a new platform if it's out on a new platform, as well. So it's basically paying more money again on top of for games you've already bought but can no longer play. That's one of the arguments.
You can still get them though, can you? Or have you got to just make sure they're downloaded?
What's that? Yeah, you have to make sure they're downloaded. So basically, you can't purchase games.
But can you still download games you've already purchased?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, but the argument is when that Wii U dies, because obviously at some point the Wii U will stop selling and stuff. So
Wait, is the Wii U still selling?
yeah.
Was it selling ever?
It's probably one of
Jeez.
the worst selling consoles, isn't it? It's got to be up there.
Yeah,
well, I mean, the fact that the PlayStation 5 has now outsold its lifetime sales of the Wii U in its first year, it's just like, oh.
The only experience I have with a Wii U was my cousin buying it to play one of the Monster Hunters in a better way on there, and then going back to playing it on the DS because it was so bad.
Yeah. But obviously, it's not just the Wii U though; it's the 3DS that's shutting down as well. So
I think that's probably the bigger news.
Bigger ones,
yeah.
Because a lot of people still love their 3DS. I've still got mine. I love it. Like, wouldn't change it. But obviously, then it boosts the prices of physical up by quite a lot. Yeah, because they make a rarity.
Have you seen how much some of the old physical games for Pokemon are going for now?
Yeah.
Like Heart Gold, Soul Silver, which is one that I've always wanted to grab and pick up. It's like 80, 90 quids.
Yeah,
that doesn't surprise me.
It's so silly.
Because I've been looking for ages, hoping to see like a relatively cheap priced copy of Silent Hill from the PlayStation 1, thinking, because I've never played that game, and as a Resi fan, it's something I should play. But 90 quid, or 70 quid, or 60 quid, it's always like not spending, PlayStation 5 money on a PS1 game until finally, like, I'm rich or something, I don't know.
Ain't it crazy, the 70, 80, even £90 is stuff that we're willing to spend for a game now? That's how much it's gone up to. It's silly. Like, how much was the Monster Hunter collection?
7.
The Rise?
No,
see, that was a good price for like all the things now. But like, you get games that are like, we'll give you three extra skins for £90. I was about that, and people are like, that sounds amazing. It's just, I don't get it.
Yeah, the digital deluxe thing is quite like a weird.
Yeah, it's strange.
But then I guess if you're like, I don't know, say you're buying COD, for example, are people spending that money on skins anyway? Do you know what I mean? So
probably, you're right. There's a big discussion around that, I think. But game prices are gone strange.
Yeah. But
well, I mean, just on that before we go off, just because I looked it up just now as a curiosity. So this is all in US dollars. So where are we? Let's look at So Xbox One games average cost when that came out in 2013 was $60, and then you go back to Mega Drive generation, Sega Genesis as they called it. Average game cost was $50. So if you consider how much the cost of making games has gone up and the amount of technology in it, the price of the games themselves hasn't gone up in line with that, because I think we'd probably be paying a lot more than we are. I mean, obviously we wouldn't be able to afford that, but which is probably where the balance comes. They're going to go, they need to like recoup the cost, but they also need to make sure that people can buy the games who aren't all millionaires or whatever. But that's the it's not climbed up. It's climbed up like, so for I think say 20 quid from like the 90s.
Still, that's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money.
Yeah. They were never cheap.
It's probably why Game Pass and stuff is so successful right now.
Yeah, 100%.
Like these streaming services are so successful because they're so cheap compared to like, you're paying £10 a month for like hundreds of games. And one of them would cost you probably about 70 quid. It's silly. We've kind of gone off track a little bit.
Yeah. So with because obviously one of the arguments around the Nintendo online thing with the SNES, the SNES and Sega Mega Drive and everything else that's on there. One of the arguments around that has been about how much are these classic games worth as well, because that's been one of the it's sort of saying, should they they've kind of made their money now. Should they still have to pay? Should the company still be making money off these older games? It's kind of a weird argument, because like they're basically trying to say that the developers have probably left at this point when they're like 30 years old or something, but it's still their IPs as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, it's still a product. Like, just because, like, I don't know, a book has been. I suppose books go into the what's it called? Where after like 100 years it goes into the like public domain or something. So everyone can read it for free. But still, you can still buy those books if you want a physical version of it. Like,
yeah, definitely.
I don't get that argument. It seems a bit.
It's a bit of a weird one.
Maybe if you hit 100 years time and they do the whole
we're still quite a young industry.
Exactly, we're still talking about games that are like 10, 20 years ago.
Old. Like, because what shocked me, and I don't know why I thought this was like an early night, but the Dreamcast came out in like 99. I thought it was earlier than that, to be honest.
I thought the Dreamcast was a lot earlier than that.
Yeah, that's like PlayStation 1 generation. I was reading up on it the other day and I was like, wow, that's mad. Because I never remember seeing one as a kid.
Like, it was PlayStation 1, Dreamcast, and GameCube. That was that generation, wasn't it?
2001, yeah.
It was the GameCube in that generation?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it came out. Yeah, 2001, it came out. So the PlayStation 1 was like 2000?
Oh, no, so GameCube... No, PS1 was 96.
64?
Was it 96?
Yeah, PS1's older than I thought it was. Yeah, so... Okay.
No.
So that GameCube must be PS2 generation then?
Yeah.
Nah.
That would make more sense, because it's... Yeah, that would make more sense.
I remember having a GameCube with a PlayStation 2, but I thought, that's mad. Times just goes too quick, I think. But yeah, like, does this sort of give a reason for people now to buy more physical games again, rather than going to digital storefronts if they're just going to start closing things down? Because what happens in...
Yeah, it depends what you want, because loads of people, even with all this stuff, people will still be in the habit of buying digital, and as much as it sucks to say, I suspect the people who are outcrying about this will be quite a minority in terms of out of the overall game. Most gamers will sort of get a new console, sell their old one, move on. Like say, I know I'm rare being among those who's like kept every previous console there. Well, not everyone. I sadly no longer have my SNES, but I've got 4 separate generations of consoles.
Yeah,
and then because of backwards compatibility, that covers 6 generations of games.
that's another thing. Yeah, go on. Sorry.
I was going to say, so I think some people will, but I think those people probably were the ones who would already do that anyway.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah,
I think that, like, I don't like to use the term, but the casual gamer base, that big gamer base, they don't care. No. Like, this doesn't matter to them. Like, me growing up, I just sell all my games anyway. I'd go trade in all my games. Like, I'd go in with like 6 or 7 games to go buy the new CODs, because that's what everyone would be playing.
Yeah.
Like, none of it mattered to me. As soon as I play the game, that's done.
Yeah. It says how we think about even people who play a lot of games. Like, the way you think about them is in that sort of very casual, almost disposable way. I mean, obviously they cost a lot of money, but that's one of the reasons why you resell when you're moving on to a new generation and all that sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas a lot more people, like, there's a lot more talk now about obviously video games being like an art form because of the creativity involved in them and like their ability to tell stories, all this sort of stuff. But most people, even people who really like video games, most people generally don't think of it in that terms. They'll think of it as, but then I suppose that most people are collectors anyway. Even if movies are art, but most people watch a movie in the pictures or see it on Netflix or whatever, and then move on in exactly the same sort of disposable way, and you never think, like in those movies where the world's ending and they're trying to archive human knowledge. It's always all these old paintings and these old books and all this stuff. They never sort of go, right, what video games are we putting in the ark to preserve for all time?
Yeah.
Well, maybe we should.
Yeah, sorry, me and Lloyd said yeah at the same time. Then you really tripped me out. But no, I agree. I think we should preserve video game kind of history because we are so young, and then we'd look back and just be like, oh, well, where's it all gone? But then on the other end, there's so many games made that like, should we just be picking and choosing the best? Because there is some shit that's made. Excuse my language.
Because the numbers quoted for the Wii U and the 3DS is 1,800 titles will be lost due to its closure. So that's not even like, those are ones that are just not being ported to another system.
Yeah.
So
but at the same time, the same thing, going back to the book analogy, the same thing could be said there, couldn't it? Like, especially with self-publishing and the amount of stuff, like, you know, not to like pigeonhole things like 50 Shades of Grey or whatever, but all the stuff that just basically is just dross.
Great movie, great book. Leave it alone, all right? Actually, that was the weirdest movie. That was the weirdest film I have ever sat through in my life. But carry on, sorry.
Was that a date movie, was it?
Well, it was actually. Me and Lauren decided to go watch it, but it wasn't out of like the whole like everyone's hype. We were like, is it actually that bad? And we sat through it, and we come out of like the cinema and walked to the car and never spoke a word to each other the entire way till we got into the car, and both was just like, that was shit. What did we just watch? Damn, this is so bad. Jesus.
But I mean that brings, like, in terms of preservation and stuff. I mean, we're talking obviously in general terms, so that like future generations can play. But I suppose if you're talking about like going into the ark because the planet's about to explode and we need to preserve human civilization to go into deep space or whatever. So either or situation really. But like, does something being bad mean that it should be left out? Because I mean,
no, you're right.
Because there's obviously different people's opinions.
But then
who's to judge what's bad and what's good?
Well, there's that, but I mean, it's just the same with it. Like, you know, if something's terrible, like a terrible piece of fiction, there's still like people can look at it and go, "This is why this is terrible." So
we're not going to chuck like Dynasty Warriors 9 on the ark, are we? Like that's not going on there. Do you know what I'm saying? That's going nowhere near it. That's dying in a fire. I don't know. It's this is a subject.
You know that like,
I'm just like,
lady in a leotard with a gun is going to be preserved for all time as well.
I mean, off the top of your head, if you are going to be throwing a game into an ark like that, you have one choice quickly to grab a game, throw it in. What's it going to be?
One. Oh, Jesus Christ. That's too hard.
Why is it not The Witcher 3?
I mean, it'd be Sonic 3 and Knuckles, so every time.
What's that, Lloyd?
It's probably one of the greatest games ever, The Witcher.
Yeah, it really is. It's so well done. I've spoke about that game 4 times today, and I don't know why. But yeah, more power to you. I don't know. Video games. They should definitely be preserved. I think me being like, oh, there's so many bad games is a bit of a redundant statement because it should all be preserved in some way or another.
I mean, we've probably lost loads already because I was looking through the console generations then, and like up until like from the PlayStation generation onwards, I think we can name all the consoles that come out. There's nothing in there that's like a surprise. But before that, like the same generation as the SNES and the Sega Mega Drive, there were 2 other consoles. Either of you named them? I'd never heard of them before.
What consoles did you say?
Oh, is it they're like keyboards, isn't they?
Commodore.
There was one
Commodore.
That was several before. So the Mega Drive and SNES generation, there was also the TurboGrafx 16. and
That's
the
such
Neo
an 80s name.
and the Neo Geo.
I know the Neo Geo.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
we're still on the same wavelength. We need to just like tell each other.
yeah, we
Go on,
need to.
you go first, then. Go
I
on.
was thinking
Go
about
on.
it because there's a place in Cardiff. Arcade Vault. You remember Arcade Vaults? Yeah. Like
I do.
I remember. So that's got like all the retro consoles in it and stuff. Like we don't. Is there many places like that around the UK? I'm sure there is, but like, would it be? Because could we go back to that old school kind of like arcade-esque sort of thing where they just
Maybe,
have?
but then I suppose it turns into how profitable is that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I suppose that's the thing, because not many people really care about this is going to be a big statement, but not many people care about the retro side.
But there's definitely a market there.
There is a market there, definitely.
Yeah.
But not there's a huge retro fan base, but I'd say the majority of the gamer base just like, I remember that game, and then move on with their life with the games they're playing now. You know what I mean? So I think it'd be interesting, but then the big question is how profitable is that to keep it up? And then the other side is, do we treat it kind of like how museums are and that kind of thing? And like, you know, I don't know.
I'd visit the Museum of Video Games.
There is actually a museum of video games. I'm pretty sure.
There is. So it's going to bring it to like the more digital side, because obviously there's a lot of criticism around Nintendo's thing of preserving things, but PlayStation have had the upgrade things. Yeah, and PlayStation have had a lot of praise for their sort of way of bringing things into the next generation. Now with the upgrades, the free upgrade you get with certain games, what is the best? How would you see? Because obviously Nintendo's never sort of done anything cross-platform, or they're never, unless they're making a flat-out like a remake or a remaster. They're not very backward compatible friendly as a company. And obviously now we're seeing this with the thing is. Do you think that is the best way to move forward with the Nintendo Switch Plus thing? Or do you have any suggestions?
The best way is how Xbox is doing it. That's the best way to implement backwards compatibility and cross-gen stuff, is that once you've got an Xbox One, no matter what version of the Xbox One, you're going to be able to play that game on whatever.
Yeah.
That's the best way. That is single-handedly the best way to do it, I think.
Yeah.
In terms of digital, anyway.
Yeah. What about the games that are like before the so
they're all on there. Xbox 360 games, Xbox games are on there. They're all there. You can play them all on your Xbox One. And I can play them all on my old beauty here, the almost day one edition Xbox One. I can play what you're playing on your. Okay, it's not going to look as good, but it still runs all those games. Backwards compatibility is just it's all there, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the way. Like, if you've got a game, you can play it on any of the console. Like, so that's harder with physical stuff, right? Because there's different hardware needed for Blu-ray versus DVD versus CD. You know, obviously all the iterations of that as it's gone along. But there's no reason that shouldn't be done with digital, which I suppose is happening now. But even then, there's still like not a crossover. Like, the reason I was able to sort of give my PS4 away was on the basis of PS5 has got everything there, including all the trophy collection, all the games themselves, upload, download. But the PS3 trophies and digital games exist in like a little boxed off vacuum. I need to keep the PS3 to be able to play them. Obviously, PS2 games were never digital, so that's kind of a whole separate thing. But it's there's still that one sort of closed, and that includes things like Skyrim and GTA 5, which have been remade 17 million times. I can't get like the PS5 version of them because I've got the PS3. I could get the PS5 version from the PS4 version, but I'd still need to rebuy From
It like turns into
here's my
this
broken
whole like
PS3 copy, please.
it turns into this whole like jumping through loops, and I think because Xbox committed to that very early on,
Yeah.
it means that their kind of consoles will keep. It's a good way of preserving their gaming kind of history. The gaming history, because it's all there. I can go on and purchase a game that come out X amount of years ago because the store is still active, unless the game gets delisted, which it does happen. But
Yeah.
I think that's probably one of the better ways of doing it. Although obviously, PC, everything's there. Like
Yeah.
I can play games from
Yeah, it's quite awkward because like I think with this sort of thing, someone's always going to be upset because obviously like that. I think there's no right answer. Like I personally think the Xbox way is the best way of doing it. I don't see Nintendo doing it personally. But like I think because the company has that control over that marketplace, and it's not the choice isn't always up to the consumer, that individual consumer. It's up to the group of consumers. It's kind of like if a game's not doing well, but you're like, oh, do you know what I really fancy is playing like I don't know Star Fox, but it's not doing as well as say like Super Mario. What? Because what's the point of kind of keeping that up there if it costs money? I don't know what the background is to it, but like,
you're saying like
so
how
like
much it costs to keep the marketplace kind of running versus how much it's selling on the store. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
I guess that's something to consider as well.
Yeah, and then because you've always got to keep it running because you've got the security issues with it, so you've got to constantly maintain all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
So like it is quite it's quite a difficult thing of it's going to shut down at some point. But then like if you're talking about individual games, like you said, Microsoft could take delist one of the games, for example. There's bound to be someone who's like, oh, I really like that game. It's a childhood favorite of mine. But then they're like, oh, it's not doing that great, and it's just like, it's just kind of there, and it's we're just going to delist it because it hasn't got the downloads that we think, and then I think it's quite an awkward thing because like someone's always going to kind of be a bit annoyed.
It's a touchy subject. Well, especially when you're taking away something.
Yeah,
that's already there. It's going to upset some people.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I get it. I do get it, but like, I suppose for me, I've just moved away from those consoles. I don't particularly care. I'm not going to whip my DS out to play anything anytime soon. And if I am, it's going to be something I have physical on those copies because that's back when I bought physical.
Yeah, definitely. Because there's one other final bit that fits into this bubble, which is emulation.
Pirating,
piracy. Because obviously, again, Nintendo was very much against it. With all the Game Boy and the Game
ROMs
Boy
and the ROM hacks and all that stuff. Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that one?
I mean, it's like I said, as much as I don't care that it's going down, that's because I don't have anything in there that I love that I'd miss. It is sad that it's kind of up to emulate or hackers or whatever they're called. Are they called hackers? I'd imagine they're hackers, right? I don't know. Yeah. It's sad that it's up to pirates, not hackers. Everyone that does something bad on the internet is a hacker, all right? It's sad that it's come down to the fact that it's up to the pirates are to keep it running, and keep that library of games alive. Like it can't be hard just to be like, oh, you can buy the majority of these games on a little emulator on the Switch.
Yeah,
it's not going to run that differently. I guess the only difference is because it's such a unique console with the two screens. Maybe I'm on about the DS more than the Wii U because no one cares about the Wii U, and if you do, you're lying. I'm sorry. I'm joking. Yeah. So it's sad that it comes down to these people to actually preserve,
because that's all the SNES thing is just basically an emulator.
Yeah,
Yeah, so there's no.
But,
But,
I think that it's one of those things. Like at the end of the day, Nintendo and Sony and Microsoft, they're doing the things they do for profit. So they'll do things that are good for preserving games only in so much as they profit from it.
Yeah.
And they may profit from to varying degrees depending on different audiences and stuff. But beyond that, like say that's one of the reasons it does fall to like emulation and like in the same way that I mean a lot of people have been saying recently like that there's been something called the Resident Evil 4 HD project, which has basically been this whole basically modders have just like completely upscaled the Resident Evil 4 on the PC. Like they've done this HD version which looks fantastic, like almost like current gen type thing. The files involved apparently is enormous. Like you need a decent PC to run it, but that's one of the same sort of thing. People go, why does this fall to fans and modders rather than something like Capcom in this case that are doing? But again, they've obviously got keep moving because they're rolling on the basis of this is a business I need to make money from and sort of stuff, rather than I'm an archivist of video game history because they're not. That's not their reason for being. I mean that sort of thing probably should exist. If I had unlimited money, I've already said this like at home as well, but like I'd have a wall with every single console ever made on it in a selection of games. But that benefits me and only me. No one else can see that, so that doesn't preserve things.
This is the other thing where if we take like collectors and pirates are the same thing in this instance with keeping gaming history. Like collectors are the only people that are keeping all this stuff to not so much document it, but to have it catalogued and on display and to show this is like, because you have people that have like the full PlayStation 2 library or the full PlayStation 1 full Wii library and stuff like that, because that's what they do. Because like you were saying about arcade vaults as well, you think I'd imagine that's just a few people's personal collections being turned into a business at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So it's kind of sad that it's turned out to be that I suppose the consumer are the ones that are documenting this. But who knows? We might all be kicking off about this, but Nintendo might have literally like hundreds of thousands of each of these games on thing, just ready to just like if people need them. I doubt it, but
I mean they've got the N64 games that they brought out that they're like for the Switch on their subscription thing, and you can even buy like the N64 the controller with its like weird 3 prongs
middle prong thing. I never understood that. Still haunts me to this day.
It was obviously just designed by Poseidon because he loves his trident, the god of the sea.
Makes perfect sense. But it's just one of these sad situations that it's coming down to the thing. And as much as I say, like, I don't particularly care because there's not many old games that I like going back and playing. There really ain't. Like, as soon as, like, there's a few, but I won't spend much time on them, maybe 5-10 minutes, or the most I'll do is search up their music and listen to the music. But still, there are people that love it. Like I said, there's still that big retro community. As much as I, think the casual player base won't care, they're the ones that are keeping it alive, And I don't think it should fall down to them. But then again, who should it fall down to?
I think the question is if you, as a player, want to play something, should you be able to play it by one or other means? And I mean, my view on that's generally yes. If something gets more people playing a game, particularly if it's a game I like, I want more people to enjoy that, and then I can go to them and go, "Oh, what do you think of this? Wasn't this boss?" But even with modern games, not everyone has that attitude. Like when stuff like God of War, I know that's not particularly one I'm into. I know it's probably Dale's least favourite PlayStation game recently.
Wait, God of War? Yeah. Well, I wasn't huge on it.
But like stuff like that and Horizon Zero Dawn coming to the PC, and like obviously like people who were able to play it on PC because that's all they had enjoyed that. and then saying, "Wait, hope can't wait for the new ones to come out on PC eventually and stuff like that." But there are still people who go, "No, why you should have to get a PlayStation to get this?" And it's like, I mean, obviously you have to buy some sort of tech to play video games. That's the way the world works. But at the same time, why would you like go out of your way to spitefully say you shouldn't be able to play this? Like, you're not the company, you don't profit from it. Like, what do you care? People have that mentality, so when that mentality exists, I suppose it becomes harder to like just generally say people want to play something, they should be able to play it.
Yeah, no, I get that. I do.
Yeah.
And I suppose there will be a day where like me not caring about it now, and then me being like, oh, I want to go play this game, and the next thing you know, it's like, oh wait, I can't find this game anywhere. There'll be a time like that for me, but right now it's not something that I'm.
Yeah, because it's like the thing is as well, and this is the other weird thing about it, is people go on about physicals now being better than because of, in this instance, better than digital. But there's a lifespan on physical games as well. Like, I think the DS, they came out and said it was like 20 years shorter.
It's like
so it's like 30 years, I think, a cartridge will last for.
Yeah, it's like the Game Boy games. Like, I guarantee if you go and now play your Pokemon Red, Yellow, none of them will save.
No.
None of the saves will hold because the battery. I think it's a battery in there that powers the thing.
It's something. Yeah, it's some
yeah.
Sort of
I can't tell because my Game Boy screen is so poorly lit. I can't see anything to tell whether it saves or not. So
so I think that kind of takes it out of the hands of like retro gamers as well, in the sense of them having that control over preserving as well. So does it not kind of just slip and fall now to the publishers if they want to do it, like Nintendo? And
yeah, I guess
it's such a weird subject, I think.
I mean, from a purely for profit view, I think that there are a lot of older games that would they'd make money if they put ports of them on newer consoles or on PC if they're not already available.
This is the thing. I think digital is being seen as a bad thing because of this, but it can also be the savior. I think
it is because in 50 years' time, so we're not going to have SNES cartridges around, or what? Then they're not going to be around because they're not going to be usable.
I was going to say, it's like another reason like I don't buy physical anymore is that it just takes up loads of room.
Yeah.
Like if I had my game library on the thing, like my bookshelves would be just full of games, and that'd probably give me anxiety looking at the list of games that I've not touched because they're sat there.
Oh, see,
so that's another reason.
I'd love if I had was able to redo the rooms like this living room, so it was nothing but shelving, and it was all full of books and games and comics and whatever else. Cool. There was no wall space for just blank wall. None of that. Who needs blank wall? What's that for?
True. But no, that's one of the reasons. And the other reason, as much as I loved midnight releases and stuff, it is so much easier just buying a game online, downloading and playing it the moment that it gets released. It's so much more convenient and it's so much better.
There's not really any big midnight releases anymore. I don't think
they do them. I think one of the last I went to was like Destiny or maybe even Call of Duty Ghost, whichever one.
Even with physical stuff, like online pre-orders, like that means you just get it delivered anyway. Like, I mean, it's a mixed bag. I got Resident Evil Village a day early. I got Horizon Forbidden West a day late from the things, but I didn't have to wait in the queue. Still, I just wait for the postman.
It's I don't know. I think I'm a digital gamer whole and whole now. I don't think this, unless I absolutely love a game, I probably won't pick it up physical.
Yeah, because I just ended up buying a new memory card for my Switch because I've got all these games on there that I want to keep, and I'm just like I don't want to. I'm kind of fed up buying physical now, and it's just and I love a steel bookcase, but I've got 2 cases of everything, and it's just there's even more room.
It's awkward, isn't it? Because they still give you the original cases. Like, well, what do I do with this now? I've got two cases for this game with one game. Like,
But like, yeah, I think like this like minimalistic attitude, I guess, has impacted everything I do. Like comic books, I barely buy actual like floppy books now. I'll just buy a graphic novel or get it digitally because there's just this is because I said
think,
floppy.
Yeah, I think that's exactly
the action you did with it as well. I imagined something else. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Woo!
But yeah,
for our audio listeners, Dale is being lewd.
How dare you? Okay,
which is actually quite the achievement given just how vanilla he is. But
okay, so I think we should wrap this up now. Any final thoughts before it goes out of hands?
I think the whole where am I going with this? I think the whole arguing the digital is bad because of this is not stupid, but it's borderlining because I wholeheartedly think that digital is the way to actually keep this all going. You know?
Yeah, because you have no physical lifespan. You have no.
Yeah.
And it could be transferred easier as well. So.
But then I suppose that the physical lifespan only applies to like Nintendo stuff because the discs have a lifespan.
It's longer, yeah, but it's still.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I wonder when my discs are gonna die. Discs, are you dying?
I think it's a lot longer than cartridges, though.
Well, then digital's the only answer.
Yeah.
There we go. It's the only way. Like the digital versus physical argument is dumb because digital's the only way.
Unless an electromagnetic pulse, like from the sun, wipes out all digital information on Earth, and we reset.
Yeah, but let's be fair. If that happens, we're all ruined anyway because we won't be able to play games anyway. So we've all gone redundant.
Well, I had to go to extreme, but no, I think I agree with Dale on that because it's the problem with digital stuff isn't the fact that it's digital; it's the fact that it relies on companies whose main motivation is a profit, keeping servers running and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So maybe that's going to provide some sort of limitation in the future because if it's not profitable to keep the servers running and stuff like that for certain things, or to keep providing updates for certain games and all that sort of thing. So, but that's not because they're digital. That's because the people who made them are primarily there to make profits off them.
Yeah.
Which means we've got another episode where we come back to the problem is capitalism.
And this week,
there we go. It's back to capitalism. I stubbed my toe. It's capitalism's fault.
I could probably, if I got really drunk, I could probably give you a really long-winded, mostly bullshit argument why that would be true.
It's those TikToks where they like walk through the forest and the guy trips over a stick and he goes, stick. It's not your fault, stick. It's not my fault. It's capitalism's fault. It cracks me up. It really makes me laugh. To be fair, there probably is a logical explanation to why it is capitalism's fault. Let's be fair. But,
well, you see, it goes back to the funding of public infrastructure now.
All right, get him out of here.
The news.
Lloyd, do you want to make a news jingle?
Because I'm hosting.
It's gotta be the news. The news. It's the news. Toys R Us is back. Toys R Us is back. Oh yeah. Oh, yeah, come on.
Okay, is he ready? Is he done?
If anyone wants to fund a professional or make a professional jingle to prevent this all from happening in the future, then drop us a line.
clicking like I'm like doing jazz but really fast.
So I've got two kind of like just quick headlines to shoot out there. So first of all, Steam users can now check their games for compatibility with the Steam Deck, which the first batch comes out. It'll be out by the time this goes live. It'll be out on the Friday before. So that'll be going out. So you can now check if you could play your games on the Steam Deck. And the next one is Bethesda is retiring its own PC game launcher and moving all of its games to Steam. Which I'm not gonna lie, didn't even realize they had a game launcher.
Yeah, I know of the game launcher. I see though, Right, the past 2 or 3 podcasts or episodes, I'm pretty sure you've brought up a Steam Deck news piece, and every single time it reminds me that it's actually a thing, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's a thing. That's happening.
Oh yeah, Bethesda.net. They have the scrolls on it. I completely forgot.
Yeah, Elder Scrolls. See, because we got really confused and have to download everything, didn't we?
Don't have to do it anymore.
It's just easier. I mean, Steam's. I love Steam. I think Steam's awesome. Steam's a really good site. Very bad for my wallet, but it's good. You know, it's just a thing.
It depends who you ask.
Yeah, but it also always recommends like nudes and not safe for work games for me. I've never played any or clicked on any.
But they'll be replaced with Bethesda games now.
Oh, there we go. Thank God. I can just see Skyrim version 80.3.
Or they'll be merged. They'll be merged with Bethesda games, and you get like Skyrim After Dark edition.
Oh, don't. There's a modding community for that.
Well, I mean, Rule 34 is a thing, so I'm sure.
Yeah, true. True, unfortunately. Why does it always go into this stuff?
Right,
you brought it up.
Next bit. We got Street Fighter 6 has officially been announced. Any thoughts on this one other than the extra saucy teaser trailer they gave?
Go on, you go first.
I was going to say, yeah, there was a whole lot of stuff made about the visible outline.
The visible outline and the toes.
Wait, what? Oh, I need to see this now.
Watch it. You'll know.
What is it? The trailer?
The teaser trailer. Yeah, I had to double check it a couple of times. I was like, did they do that? Like,
when you say you have to double check, you mean you have to double check, then zoom in and take screenshots and then just look really closely and then have some private time.
But I was like, it was kind of like
some muscles.
Them are some muscles, and then you get toes. Let's just watch Dale's reaction.
So like, what the? I never knew toe graphics was massive in gaming.
Yeah,
this is all done in the RE engine as well, isn't it? Because the Capcom's RE engine. I was astounded to find out that RE in that case doesn't stand for Resident Evil. It's a thing, the name of the engine, but it shows that they can do something which is like, obviously they did like photorealistic with like the Resident Evil stuff, and then this is photorealistic-ish, but with the cartoonic.
Don't forget the Rise was made on the RE engine too. Monster Hunter Rise as well.
Yeah, so they can do.
Capcom are amazing.
Multiple different styles of graphic.
Yeah.
So, any thoughts?
It made me laugh that like both like what was I saying? That the Monster Hunter community and the Resident Evil community are like the elder and the younger children. They get all the attention, and then in the middle you have the Street Fighter community, and they get something, and we're all like, huh?
Yeah, I mean,
I forgot it existed. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah. I do
like a middle child.
Yeah, but I mean, it is technically the oldest child, I think, because
I'd imagine so.
I've got the Sega Mega Drive copy of Street Fighter 2 Turbo, still sitting there. That's a game. That is.
Just a preference. I'm not insulting any communities here because I like all these games. They're incredible. So I'm not insulting any communities. Just to preface that.
Except Resi. While I'm a Resi fan, Dale is like, horror? Scary things? No. Never.
Be a gun. What do you mean? Like, I hate the decision making in horror games. Just like, oh, this is spooky. Let's go in the building. Like, no one would do that. No one would go in. Sorry.
Yeah, if the common sense existed in horror films, the genre wouldn't exist.
Yeah, that's so true. Resi would be cut down to like half a game.
Oh, the zombies. Okay, yep.
Ooh, okay. Our product is making zombies. Okay, let's not continue with this. Let's kill them off and carry on with something different.
Yeah,
Resident Evil. End it.
Well, I mean, the same company that not only decided to the zombies were the intended product; they were like a byproduct. because they were trying to make the ultimate biological weapon.
They were trying to make Captain America. That's what they were trying to do.
But they also made the most intricate, complicated, and needlessly convoluted locking systems ever. If you've ever tried to find a key in a Resident Evil game, you'll know. Well, I have to open this book and it's hollow inside, and there's a little plaque in there, and I've put this plaque over here. I swap it with this plaque, and then this opens a secret door, which leads into a dark passage, which gives me a key. But that key I have to swap with another key because otherwise things come out the wall and impale me, and I have to put them back. I mean, could you imagine having to lock that place up like in a hurry?
Oh, it'd be a nightmare, wouldn't it? It'd be a nightmare. Like the most puzzles that I ever had in games was like, remember in Oblivion where you had to meet the Dark Brotherhood at a certain time, and it was like, meet me at noon behind this statue, and then you sat there like, wait, what's noon? When is noon? Oh no! So you gotta wait there until you arrive. That was my level of puzzles, Phil.
Oh
no,
no!
I'm happy for Street Fighter fans that they're getting a new game. I am happy that Capcom's not forgotten that. And did you see that FromSoftware bought Dino Crisis?
Yeah,
from
I did see that.
Capcom.
Yeah,
Really, I didn't see that.
So we're going to be getting a Dino Crisis game soon. That is a Soulsborne. Maybe they just wanted rights to some of the dinosaurs in there. To check into Elden Ring.
You mean because like Velociraptors are on public domain?
No, it's all.
I'm pretty sure that they're
Crisis.
old enough that the copyrights expired on them when they were first invented.
By a couple of billion years, just a couple.
You can just download them on the internet now. It's crazy. I downloaded two the other day. It was a bit of less. You had to bring them up, didn't you?
Right.
The one podcast where there was no mention of them.
I'm putting my foot down. Next bit of news.
You brought it up. You brought the foot up.
And I put it right back down. I don't know why.
Right back down. I am.
Put it right back down. That's right.
Cornish all of a sudden.
It's the accent's happening again. So the next bit of news: Call of Duty has been delayed to 2024, according to a report. This will mark the first year without a Call of Duty since 2004.
This is an amazing thing.
Yeah. Do you think this got anything to do with Microsoft as well?
Probably. Most probably, but I also know that, I understand that Microsoft know that. Probably know that yearly releases are not too much of a good thing.
No.
And having a breather and stuff like that is, is a good idea. I mean, I think the series need it. It probably helped the devs out massively if they've got more time to make a new game. I mean, the past few have released with so many issues that it's like, well, why are they being released?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You have a highly competitive game that always gets released with no rank modes. It's like, how is that being overlooked? You know what I mean? So I think, it's the 2023 one, right? So it's next year's one will be pushed back. So that's good. That's good. But it also means that we got 2 years on Modern Warfare 2, which I'm the big fan of Modern Warfare. But I know people love it, so people must be excited for that. And you got Warzone 2 coming out as well this year. So yeah, there's a lot of things happening.
Yeah.
But my interesting thing is, how is that going to affect the esports side of things? It'd be cool to see 2 years and see if the teams that were dominating in the first year, if they're still dominating in the second year because they've had so much time. So it's interesting. I think this is a very positive thing. A very, very positive thing.
Okay.
For a franchise that feels like it's on its last legs,
Yeah. But what I love about this is it says that Activision Blizzard is pushing this new Call of Duty's release following a recent game failing to meet expectations, but wouldn't announce the game. It says it's either, but both Vanguard and Warzone underperformed in 2021. In comparison to Cold War and Warzone in 2020.
Yeah, but I think Cold War still underperformed compared to the year before. I might be wrong, but I got a feeling it did.
Cold
So-
Wars.
If they're churning them
played
out that
Cold
frequently, there's got to be a point where saviness because that sort of schedule doesn't really allow for too much innovation, does it?
Nope. Plus, then you have like the CODs you're good at, the CODs you're bad at. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe just refining things a lot more. That's extra time to iron bugs out as well and things like that. So yeah, it'd be good.
Also, just to very briefly go back to the discussion we were having on the previous thing, the only reference I can find to Dino Crisis and FromSoft is from a fake FromSoft Twitter account.
Oh no! I've been bamboozled. No, I saw everyone being it.
Well, yeah,
So I would like to apologise to all our listeners for Dale maliciously spreading fake news.
Saw it on Twitter. Twitter's viable, okay? Oh, damn.
So the final bit of news is for all the streamers out there who can now stream using either their Xbox or PlayStation as well.
Is it PlayStation as well?
Using your Xbox
That's
or
cool.
PlayStation.
That's
Because I remember
awesome.
the good old Mixer days when it was easy.
Mixer days, way.
Yeah, when it was easy and you could just pop up and...
Wait, so what's
thing.
actually happened? Because, I mean, when I first started streaming, I was streaming directly from my PS5.
Oh, it might have just been updated because I'm currently reading the creator camp. So they might have just updated the thing. But
Yeah, but Xbox you can now. Which
Is
Xbox
is
you
this
couldn't
on
because it was
Twitch?
yeah,
yes.
creator camp.
But Xbox was always to Mixer, but obviously they've probably just been like, yeah, we failed that, so do you want to go stream on Twitch instead?
Yeah. Because there's always been like you can link your PlayStation to Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch, so you can live stream and you can upload videos directly, or you can tweet like short videos or images like from photo mode and stuff like that. Which is like one of the few things I've been doing. One of the very few things I've been doing on social media is occasionally tweeting the odd Horizon Forbidden West photo over the last week.
You've been playing Horizon? You haven't mentioned Phil.
Wait, do you playing that new Horizon Forbidden East, is it? I don't know, I haven't paid attention.
Yeah.
I'm not to piss off a fan.
Phil is. I'm joking. It looks really good. I like genuinely looks pretty good.
I know. I mean, yeah. I won't. Again, I said I would have said more at the start, but I said I wouldn't until we do a review. But it is. It's good.
Any final thoughts on any of the news that's got out today? Then
Yeah, I don't know why people lied about FromSoftware buying Dino Crisis. Do you know what? I imagine this because I was scrolling them when I was tired. People were talking about it sarcastically, and I just wasn't picking up on the sarcasm. So listen, right? Keep your sarcasm to a minimum or signal it online. Because I'm always tired and it always gets me.
That was the most Cardiff I've ever heard you then.
Listen, mate, alright?
Listen, alright.
Alright? Alright, what's happening?
Yeah, that wasn't. I don't know what accent that was.
That was.
Right. Before more accents come out today, I think we should close it up. Right, thank you all for watching. Of course, you can find us on all of our socials: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, at
MySpace
Gaming, MySpace. We're bringing that back as well. That's part of our sponsors. Oh, MySpace isn't sponsoring no one.
Isn't MySpace still a thing? Sorry,
I think so. Yeah, it is.
No, we should also be obviously on Bebo and Live Channel as well.
Giving out those loves on
Bebo. Oh, let's get on Bebo.
Right.
This is
no.
We tangented. We had a tangent in the Bebo's still a thing. Sorry.
No more. Right. You can catch us on all our socials at UnCapt Gaming, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And you can also catch us on YouTube, where we post the videos whenever we feel like it, because we've got no schedule. Unprofessional opinions. Oh, and you can get more of our professional opinions on gaming. You've just both struck me now. And yeah, so thank you and goodbye.
I don't know what I did, but bye.
Bye.